decision must go through his filter of self-centeredness. Then, when you are working with such a leader, you know that that leader is an insecure leader. When someone under them performs exceptionally, they fear being outshone. Under, insecure leader, when you have somebody under you and the person is doing very well, this one will take over. If it's organization, they will say this one will take over my organization. If it is church, they will say this one will take over this church. If it is choir, they will say this one is getting popular. They can ask you not to sing for the whole 1 month. You won't know why you are not singing. If it is usher and they realize that everybody is just, they say this one is becoming too popular, they throw you to the back. Because you have a head usher who is not secure. So it's the moment they observe that you are performing exceptionally well, they have the fear of being outshone. And when someone does poorly, again, they react in anger. So how do you do to please them? Do you get the balance? An insecure leader, when you are performing very well, they have the fear that this one can take over. When you are performing poorly, they react in anger because they are not secure. And when you are working under such leaders, I've told you when in my whatever, your decision is not to change that leader. You can't change him. Your own decision is to add the little value you can add as a leader in that place. And when you now realize that, okay, the attitude of insecurity from that leader is frustrating you beyond the limits, you have two options. The first option is that you change your own attitude to make it work with that insecure leader, or you change your job. Number two, the visionless leader. The visionless leader, they could also be very frustrating. We are talking about the challenges in leadership. And today, we are talking about the frustration challenge. These are things under it. Leaders who lack vision create two immediate problems for the people who are working for them. Any leader that lacks vision, they create two immediate problems for those who are working for them. Number one, they fail to provide direction. Or incentive to move forward. Any leader who is visionless, they fail to provide direction or incentive to move forward. And number two problem is that when a leader lacks vision, he lacks passion. When a leader lacks vision, he lacks passion. And then that's why you see some of our leaders in this country, because they are visionless, they don't have passion. A man driven by vision is naturally passionate about that vision. But most people, the reason why they aspire for political office or for appointment is not because they have passion to make a change. It affects the church as well. So if you have that kind of person as your leader who does not have direction, he does not give you direction, and if you even do something, he will still complain. He can frustrate you. She can frustrate you. I'll still tell you solutions. That's why I said I will not tell you the problem without the solution. So, and when you are having this kind of frustration from this kind of visionless leader, you take it easy. It's not his fault. He doesn't have that vision. And anyone that does not have a vision can never have a passion. Vision and passion, they are two inseparable, ingredients that goes together. Hallelujah. If you know how to do your job, naturally you'll be passionate about it. Have you seen where musicians, guitarists, a good guitarist who has passion for it, is playing it? There was this man that used to play for, I think, Obey, play for Ayewa, play for, I've forgotten that man. He's an old man. That man can close his eyes and play guitar for hours, and he'll be enjoying his rhythm because he has passion for it. See people too that play SARS. If they carry that SARS, because they have passion for it, Pastor Kule in Redeem, you know that because they have passion for it, he enjoys what he's doing. So, leaders who are visionless can frustrate those who are under them. Number 3, the incompetent leader. The incompetent leader. These kind of leaders, they are troubles. You know when somebody is not competent, not only for the people they lead, but also for the entire organization. Incompetent leaders are trouble, not only for the people they lead, but also for the entire organization. Let me give you an example now. You will see some people, they are governors, and they are very competent. And you will also see some people, they sit on the position, on the seat of governor, and they are not competent. Let me give a practical example of one of the governors I love, and that is Wike. Wike may have his own, shortcomings. And the only shortcomings I know he has is probably, to me, he talks too much. He must give you answer for everything. And that's the same shortcoming that Donald Trump has. Donald Trump doesn't know that he was the president of America. If you say anything, he replies you. Because he feels that you can't just talk to me and go like that. Praise God. That is no weakness. But I'm talking about competency. Wike got to, as the governor of Port Harcourt, and discovered that there was an oil well that had been seized to Imo State. And then, through his finding, discovered that this oil well belongs to River State. And they went to court. And they thought that he would not win. By the time they got to the Supreme Court, he won. After winning the oil well back to River State, he told the Imo State governor, we are not enemies. We are still friends. Do you understand? Now, he's not winning that oil well for himself. He's doing it for the state. That is that. We're talking about competency. He came into the office, God, this state used to have an aircraft for the government. Where's the aircraft? And they said the aircraft is somewhere in Germany. What happened to it? He sent people to Germany. And then they came back and found out that this is the state of the aircraft. I may drop it here. This is the problem it's having. This is the problem. How much will it cost to fix this aircraft? They told him. How long will it take you? They told him. Then they signed a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, and they gave them the money. As I'm talking to you today, the aircraft is back to Nigeria. Competency. If it were other governors, it will rot in that place. There was also a project I saw of a particular building that has been neglected for probably 10 years, about 4 or 5 story building. Look at now. I read something a few days ago from the CEO of GTEX. He said Nigeria is wasting money. Look at since Nigeria moved secretariats from Ikoyi. Are you with me here? To Abuja. The Ikoyi secretariat, look at all those buildings. They are just wasting there. They're just wasting. Can you imagine how many years? If you don't want to know how to maintain it, why don't you get people, estate people, they can turn it to anything. Am I right? And those buildings will be bringing money. Incompetent leaders. How many years now? Almost over 20 years. Nobody, maybe it's rat or malamo. No, they are just wasting resources. So, incompetent leaders waste resources. Because they don't even know what to do. So I just gave you examples so you can be able to know. So that's why I said they create problem not only for themselves, not only for the people they are leading, but for the entire organization, country, church, or whatever they are leading. When you are incompetent, you create problem. So leadership ability determines a person's level of effectiveness. Leadership ability determines a person's level of effectiveness. So when you are not effective, then you are incompetent. And the best decision an incompetent leader can do is to bow out. But most of the time in Nigeria, they don't bow out. They want to stay there. and create problem. Even those who know how to do it, they criticize them. So if you are working in your office, in your church, in anywhere with a leader who is not competent, you can be frustrated. I'm talking about the challenges leaders go through. Frustration is one of it. And when you work with a leader who is not competent, you can be frustrated because there's nothing you do that you do well. You must do it in his own way, even though he knows very well that he's not competent on the job. I can give you several examples. I don't want to mention names of leaders in this country who are not competent. They are not competent at all. At all. Question, we just changed Naira now. What is the essence of this Naira change? Some said it will this. Some said it will that. But I just read that the inflation rate has gone to, is it not 21%? 21.5. And as at the middle of this year or so, it was about 16%. In fact, I learned that next year, budget of next year, to take care of debt alone, we take 103%. Okay, what remains? When they say to take care of the debt you are owing, the budget of next year, 103%. Normally, budget is 100%. Incompetent leaders. Incompetent leaders will take 15 years to fix Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. I remember from about your time, when they gave it to Wale Babalakin, and then there was a problem, they took it from Wale Babalakin, and then see, they are just eating money. Eating money. Incompetent leaders. They are not just creating problem for themselves, they are creating problem. How many hours does it cost us to get to Ibadan? Before, good car, 45 minutes you are in Ibadan. Non-stop. And the same thing, in those days, with a good car from Maitu to Badagry, is 40 minutes, 45 minutes. 40, 45 minutes, you are in Badagry. Not now. Incompetent leaders. Look at the gridlock of traffic going on in Lagos State now. Everywhere. Incompetent leaders. This week, I've never trekked like that in my life. The kind of trek I trekked this last week. Because where are you taking your car to? And they know the solution, but they won't. So when you are working, you know the problem, when you are working with the competent leaders, you can't complain. You can't say, hey, sir, hey, I think we should do this, they remove you immediately. But you are telling me what to do, they remove you. I learned of a politician in this motion. You know, he just took one of his boys as a PA. Pastor Kennedy, one of the days they now went out and they came back with money. When I say money, hard currency. The politician was special advisor to the governor. Hey! And the man said, hey? That was the last statement he made. The second day they removed him. He didn't talk to us like that. He was just talking to the boss. Okay, the Oga feel that this one, if he stays with me too much, he'll be talking to people. They remove him immediately. So what are we talking about? Incompetent leaders, they know that they are not competent, but they are not ready to leave the stage for people who are competent to take over. And that's why cabals are in charge of this country. It is those who don't understand that will feel that Tinubu actually wanted the vice president. He doesn't want him. But he doesn't have a choice. Do you understand when we are talking about competence or no competence? He doesn't want him. He doesn't have a choice. If he must retain that ticket, he must take that vice. The vice he wanted, they don't want him. And who are these people? These are people that believe in power, that as long as we are holding on to power, we will always be satisfied, irrespective of what happened to any other person. Incompetent leaders. If you see an incompetent husband at home, he will always be shouting. Everything the children do, everything the wife does is always wrong. He will not be a good example and provide normally. Whatever anybody does is not good. He just wants to be in charge. So please, leadership ability determines a person's level of effectiveness. How effective are you as a leader? How effective am I as a leader? How effective are the leaders we have in this country? If they are effective, somebody called me yesterday, and I was saying that some of our past governors, they tried, they said, don't tell me that they tried. And the person turned into argument on phone. When he said tried. He said those who compare Lagos State with Ogun State, with other states in Nigeria, they are not intelligent. I said, what? Tell me something. He said, when you are comparing Lagos State, compare Lagos State with small countries. Compare Lagos State with New York. Compare Lagos State with, city of... Lagos State is not a place that you compare with other states. This has been a federal seat for years. And so you shouldn't compare it with states that don't have, resources to even maintain themselves. For example, now how much is Osun owing? 405 billion. Lagos State can generate that money in a month. Am I wrong? So that 405 billion they are shouting about in Osun. And Alegbeshola replied that, no, it's not me, it has been there, and they will pay it for 28 years. Can you imagine? Lagos State can generate that money in 1 month. So how dare you compare Lagos State with other states? In fact, somebody says that Lagos State should be a state that no street in Lagos State should not be tarred. No streets, no matter how corner or deep or far where you are living in Lagos State, because the resources is there. But how are they managing the resources? They give us little, they take much. Incompetent leaders. So they can frustrate you. Number 4. What are the kind of leadership that can also frustrate? Selfish leaders. Selfish leaders. They lead others for their own gain. Selfish leaders lead others for their own gain and for the detriment of others. If you have any leader who is selfish, that is nothing. That's just the goal. They lead others for their own what? For their own gain and for the detriment of others. Tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú selfish leader, ó lè ṣe oríire. Because kò rí ti ẹ̀rù. Everything they want to do is for themselves. Is for themselves. Is for themselves. And the example is not far-fetched in our country. How do you explain, hello sir, how do you explain a local government chairman who just got into local government job for 3 years? How many years? 3 years. Just 3 years. And after 3 years, he's living in Magodo. After 3 years, has fleet of cars. After 3 years, and when their vice chairman is talking, they have a slogan: wait for your time. Wait for what? Your time to eat. This one is my own time. That's the slogan. Wait for your time. And if you are giving them too much problem, they ask them to impeach you. They impeach you and remove you. Selfish leaders. In the whole world, Nigeria is the most blessed country. You know what? The kind of blessing and resources that God has given us, Yoruba call it Agbon Igbetoni Koleton. So many. But what has brought us to this level? What? Selfish leaders. Why should doctors be running away? The US is ready to give a doctor and the family, everybody, they'll give you visa. Come and work with us. And they give you everything. Why? Because of selfish leaders. Doctors will work, they won't give them allowance. We know what happened during COVID-19. When doctors were complaining, they were risking their lives for this COVID. Yet, this little allowance they're supposed to be giving, somebody will still eat them. Selfish leaders. And selfish leaders, they are also in churches, they are in schools, they are everywhere. I remember many years ago when I was teaching, the month ended and wanted to collect salary. And then my guy came in and said, thank God that this man has come in today. He just came back from US at that time. Sir, our salary. He said, no, until Monday. Until Monday. I don't have change. I have hard currency. Until Monday. And teachers are suffering. Praise God. And he left. I won't forget that incident. He left with his car. Pakwajao, twins. And he was driving. Before he got to Ofada, armed robbers attacked him. And they took all the hard currencies. He came back to school on Monday. And he was complaining. Why can't you pay? They have worked. Why can't you pay? When you were making profit, they don't know. If you make profit, they don't know. So pay them. So selfish leaders and leaders they will use you and use you not for anything, for their own gain. And the worst, for the detriment of your own life. So if you work with such a leader, you can see how frustrating it's going to be. Very frustrating. Those are some of the challenges leaders go through. They believe life is about a game. You either lose or win. Selfish leaders believe that life is about a game. It is either you lose or what? You win. In fact, if you live in Nigeria, you will know that we have selfish leaders. Up to now, I don't know why they changed this money. I don't know why. I don't know. Because the money they said they changed, and you know we don't more than 20,000. All those were their faboos. Hello? I have seen videos of people spraying that money already. And they said there was a law. If you spray that money at the party, they arrest you. It's a lie. I've seen that already. When some people cannot even eat, they are already spraying the 1,000. They are already spraying it. When some have not even seen it. Seven leaders. Something it's because of politicians, so that they will not have enough money. It's a lie. In Nigeria, I have my money, and you say, I'm not going to withdraw it in your bank, I move it. And no banker will allow you to move money from their bank. They give you what you want. You just keep quiet. I've told you it happened to me here. There was strike all over the places, and somebody gave me a check. And called the manager on Sunday and said, David is coming to see you. On Sunday, during strike, I drove to the first bank. On that Sunday, the manager was there waiting for me in the evening. Are you Mr. David? Yes. Let me see your driver's license, whatever. And then, what happened? He can't say no. Because I was traveling out of Lagos on Monday morning to Ekiti. So, and I needed that money. He went into the bank and gave me. Okay, who think it is possible to collect money on Sunday? But that is unofficial. They will only write Monday dates. Collect money from bank. It's because you don't have money. If you have money, you collect. Selfish leaders. A selfish leader advances at the expense of everyone around him or her. A selfish leader advances at the expense of everyone around him or her. They make it. They don't care if you make it or you don't make it. If you are working with such a leader, it could be very, very frustrating. Do you know, before I leave this point, that is why many Nigerians are armed robbers. Because you are working with somebody who is just, let me give you an example, a permanent secretary. I'll just give you an example now. And he's having so much money. And you are in that office. If you are not careful, your moral life and standard will fall. And you too want to devise a means. Oh, you want to see your guy? Your guy is not around, though. He will not be around for the next 1 month. And you know that thing is important. Okay, let me see your guy now. Your file, it cannot be treated, though. It can't be treated. There are many files, even 2 years files that we have not treated. You are talking about your own. And Nigerians are now devising